boys and girls, so today we're going to make a cityscape and then we're going to add warm and cool toned colors. Now, for today's project, you're going to need a white piece of drawing paper and a pencil. I'm going to use a black Sharpie just so that you can see what I'm drawing on my paper nice and bold, but you are to use a pencil for now. You will use a Sharpie or a different black marker or a black crayon after. So to make our cityscape, the first thing we're going to do is make simple lines. On the bottom of your paper, I want you to go ahead and spread out 3 different length lines, but I want them to be on the shorter side. So 3 lines that are spread out that are kind of on the shorter side, because we're going to make longer lines in just a moment. Once you're done with your 3 lines, on the top of each line, I want you to bring angled lines down on each one of these. Nice long angled lines down, because this is going to help create the side of our buildings. Now it looks like I have 3 arrows here. Now I want you to do 3 longer lines. 3 longer lines. They can be 3 different sizes, but they need to be on the longer side. And on the top of each of those long lines, you're going to make 2 angled lines, 2 nice long angled lines. Perfect, just like that. Now let's make these look more like buildings rather than arrows. So what you're going to do from each corner of that angled line, you're going to bring a straight line down. Try to get it as straight as you can. Now, when you're creating your buildings, you may run into something like this. I'm going to drag this line all the way down, but there's a building in the way. That's fine. Do not continue drawing a line through that building. Leave it there. Now it will appear, oh, that line's pretty crooked, but that's okay. Now it appears that there's a building in front of another building. So if you run into that issue, that's fine. Don't draw through your building, leave it. Same thing here. Now I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. The next video that you're going to see of my buildings done with windows looks a little bit different than what you see here because I forgot to record the first part of my video before. So this is a new sheet of paper. Now, once you have your buildings done, these are looking really good so far. This one's at the corner of my paper, but I guess I can draw a line carefully. Now we're gonna draw our windows. So when you draw your windows, you wanna make sure the top of your window is the same exact angle as the top of your building. So watch what I do here. I'm not gonna just make a square or a rectangle. The top of my building is going to be on an angle just like the top of my building you see there. Then you're going to bring your lines down and make windows. If you've ever been to New York City, you know that those buildings are so super tall and they have so many windows. A little fun fact for you guys to know about me is that I actually lived in the city. I went to school in Manhattan. I went to art school for college to learn to be a photographer. So I lived in the city. I lived in one of these big buildings with lots of windows. So I went to the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan to be a photographer, and I worked as a photographer for many years. I actually worked at Saturday Night Live. You may probably never heard of it before, but your families would if you tell them that. And then I came home and I went to another college. I went to Hofstra, and that is where I got my degree to be an art teacher. A little fun fact about your art teacher, Mrs. Schultz. All right, so you guys can add more windows if you'd like, but I'm gonna just stop here. And you're going to see that my next slide, the picture looks a little bit different, but the same. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead with the sky. Now, find a spot in the sky where you're going to make a nice long angle. Oval, sorry. I'm gonna start mine here. All right, so I'm going to just keep repeating this oval around this oval, but bigger. All right, so there's my smallest oval. Now each oval after that is going to be bigger and bigger. Now, when you get to your building, when you're making that curved line, you don't want to draw over that building. So you're going to just kind of pretend you're drawing over it and then continue when you are away from that building. I'm gonna pretend I'm drawing over it, I'm gonna skip, and I'm going to continue. And now I'm off my paper, which is fine. And I'm gonna continue that again. Oh, I'm hitting that building, so I'm gonna jump over it, pretend I'm still drawing that oval. I'm gonna jump over that building and continue to draw my ovals. So I'm just making ring after ring after ring, making sure I never draw on top of my buildings. Continue that oval. Continue that oval, just not drawing through my building. So you guys should be doing this now. And then we're gonna add color. Here we go. All right, so there is my sky. How cool is that? All right, so actually what you're gonna do is once you're done drawing everything with a pencil, I would love for you to grab a black Sharpie if you have one. If you don't have a black Sharpie, you can use a black colored pencil or even a black crayon or another type of black marker. And I want you to trace over all your pencil lines. So now you're gonna trace back over your buildings, your windows, and your sky to make it stand out nice and bold before we add our color. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, everyone, so once you're done outlining your artwork and it's looking nice and bold, now you're ready to add your color. Now we have worked many times with separating cool tone colors and warm tone colors. So our cool tone colors are colors that make us feel cold, like the ocean, blue, blue-green, violet or purple, and regular green. Now there are all different types of tints and shades of these colors that will work as well. So for instance, here's a lighter green that also is considered a cool toned color, okay? And then turquoise, right? Oh yeah, blue-green we have. So for our warm tone colors, this makes us feel hot or warm. Think of fire or the sun. Red, orange, yellow. I even threw up pink in there for today. Why not? These are our warm tone colors. Now you guys have to choose what tone you want to use for your buildings, and whatever you choose for your buildings, you're going to use the opposite tone for your sky. So for instance, if you want to use cool tone colors for the rings in your sky, then for your building you're going to use warm tone colors, or you can do opposite. It's up to you. So for me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with cool tone colors for my sky, and then warm tone colors for my buildings. Now I'm using crayons. You guys can use oil pastels. If you have paint, you're more than welcome to use paint. If you only have markers, you can use markers. Each ring is going to be a different color, but has to stay within the same tone, right? So I'm using only cool tone colors for my sky and then warm tone colors for my building. So go ahead, separate your colors, get them ready, put them in a pile, and start coloring.